Welcome to East Coast Hour, the ultimate destination for discovering the hottest musical talents from the East Coast. As the only East Coast music video channel in North America, I'm here to bring you the best in music, entertainment news, exclusive artist interviews, and upcoming events to get you out of the house and supporting artists across the East Coast of Canada. Have you found your favorite East Coast summer tune yet? Well, maybe it's in this episode. So sit back, relax, and immerse yourself in the vibrant sounds of the East Coast. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode's link with your friends and followers. Let's spread the love for East Coast music together. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. Out of New Brunswick, here's La Famille Leblanc with Fille que moi on East Coast Hour with Chuck.
Les oiseaux du bois parlent-ils? Les oiseaux du bois parlent-ils? Ils parlent français, latin aussi.
That was La Famille Leblanc with Fille comme moi. On East Coast Hour, I'm Chuck Boudreau. La Famille Leblanc is a New Brunswick family of musicians. They combine their Celtic and Acadian roots in their sounds. Coming up on August 12th, they're going to be performing with Louis Michaud of the Lost Bayou Ramblers, a Grammy Award winner. That is going to take place in Bathurst, New Brunswick. You can get your tickets at epasslive.com. Welcome to episode 17 of East Coast Hour, season number 2. Summer music brings new sounds as you search for the vibe of the summer that fits for you. Now, in this hour, I plan to share some music videos that could end up being that vibe for you. I have artists like the Boo Jumps, Sloan, the Stanfields, as well as some new music to East Coast Hour from Rosa Laracuta, as well as Elizabeth Shepherd, Zach Ingalls, and more. As well, I'll chat with Newfoundland's Carolina East, as well as Grammy Award winner Gordie Sampson about his upcoming Red Farm field trip. I also have some exciting news to share, so stay tuned. Sit back and relax, grab a beverage of your choice and a snack so you don't have to get up. Let's continue with an artist out of Montreal who went to the finals of La Voix in Quebec in 2015 and now performs with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, as well as formerly with a group called the Headpins. She spent some time living in New Brunswick. Here she is, performing a Lady Gaga cover. Here's Rosa Laracuta with Hold My Hand on East Coast Hour with Chuck.
Hold my hand, everything will be okay. I heard from the heavens that clouds have been gray. Pull me close, or wrap me in your aching arms. I see that you're hurting. Why'd you take so long to tell me you need me? I see that you're bleeding. You don't need to show me again. But if you decide to, I'll ride in this life with you. I won't let go till the end. So cry tonight, but don't you let go of my hand. You can cry every last tear. I won't leave till I understand. Promise me, just hold my hand. Raise your head and look into my wishful eyes. That fear that's inside you will lift, give it time. I can see everything you're blind to now. Your prayers will be answered. Let God whisper how to tell me you need me. I see that you're bleeding. You don't need to show me again. But if you decide to, I'll ride in this life with you. I won't let go till the end. So cry tonight, but don't you let go of my hand. You can cry every last tear. I won't leave till I understand. heard from the heavens.
Hi, I'm Kinley, and I'm so excited to be on the East Coast Hour with Chuck because this is so important to get East Coast artists' art out into the world. And we're very, very excited to make music videos in the place where we love on this beautiful East Coast. So thanks for watching. Tell your friends. This is East Coast Hour with Chuck.
Searching for a feeling, don't know what to believe in. How do you deal with it all? When you're going through the paces, trying to fill the blank spaces, how do you live with it all? There's a time to proclaim that the world won't drag you under. There's a whole other way to live a life of wonder, where the kids come out to play at the ball. When your life needs arranging, but the rules keep changing, how do you cope with it all? When you're desperate for sunlight at midnight, with no one you can call, then it's time to reject that your story's written for you. There are dots to connect, someone out there's waiting for you, where the stars come out to play at the ball.
Let me have all of you, please. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was the Stanfields with Welcome to the Ball on East Coast Hour. I'm Chuck Boudreau. They are one of your 2025 Stanfest performers. Great lineup of performances coming up. The road to Stanfest begins on the 21st of July. I'm going to be down in Canso for one of the events on the 24th. Then I'll be around for the weekend of Stanfest. On Friday, hitting the main stage, there's some great groups that are lined up. Mary Gauthier is going to be there. Mary Frances Leahy is going to be performing as well. This group that we just had, the Stanfields, they're going to be on Friday night. Saturday, some groups like Gunning and Cormier, also Richard Wood, Adam Baldwin, and Sloan, they're going to be performing on Saturday at the main stage at Stanfest. And then wrapping it up on Sunday, there is some great performances. David Francie will kick off the evening on Sunday night, starting at 7 o'clock. Jamila will be there as well, Morgan Toney, Valdi, and then a great finale on Sunday night, late Sunday night, but it's a great finale. Want to do a shout out to the folks at the Seabreeze Campground in Fox Island. I plan to stay there while attending the Standfest. They were terrific to deal with over the phone and were just very accommodating with my questions. They still have some sites available. You can visit their website at www.seabreezecampground.com. Let's continue on now with another video that's brand new to East Coast Hour. Here is Zach Ingalls with Get Ahead on East Coast Hour with Chuck.
Check. You know them rich boys on high horses getting richer by the hour. Tried explaining to my kids, even swimmers are sinking. You can't buy your way out of the poorhouse when all your cards are overdrawn. And I can't get ahead of it. 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 Since when did a buck replace all the fuss you used to give about people stuck in ruts? Scared to move just one goddamn inch, 'cause I'm running out of pennies to pinch. I can't get ahead of it. 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 They say the world's on fire, but it's still raining dollars, so we'll keep doing what we're doing. Pitch yourself a tent on the corner of the city and wait for control of the rent. I can't get ahead of it. 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 I can't get ahead of it.
That was Zach Ingalls and Get Ahead on East Coast Hour. I'm Chuck Woodrow. Zach is from Hampton, New Brunswick. He's a folk artist, and he just released that brand new video on July 16th. Get Ahead is a blue-collar anthem that speaks to the present-day cost of living struggles of those just trying to get by. From the unforgettable open line, "I'm late on the rent again, gave Gallon half my check," that song meets its listeners in the trenches of everyday living and unites them in a heart-thumping show of solidarity. That was Get Ahead by Zach Ingalls. Well, Music Nova Scotia has announced its nominees for their Music and Industry Awards being handed out in Yarmouth, October 23rd and 26th. I've been nominated in one of the categories in the Artistic Development category, along with other well-deserving recipients. I appreciate the nomination. If you are a member of Music Nova Scotia, I'd appreciate your vote as well. You can go to the website, musicnovascotia.ca. If you are a member, you sign in and you can cast your votes in the various categories. The general public, if you're interested in voting, you can vote for Entertainer of the Year. And again, you can find that at musicnovascotia.ca. When I attended the ECMAs in St. John's, I had a chance to see Carolina East at the Majestic Theatre, and we agreed to catch up for an upcoming episode of East Coast Hour, and today is the day. On this week's show, featuring an artist out of Newfoundland who I've chatted to before, we've talked before in person, but now we're here on Zoom to kind of catch up on a new release that she has out. Carolina East, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you again, Chuck.
Yes, it's great. Thank you so much. We were just talking before we just came to air that heat wave time. Heat wave
Oh,
time
Sacred Heart.
here in
Yeah.
Nova Scotia, but heat wave in Newfoundland, which I find it hard to believe a heat wave in Newfoundland, but you have one.
I'm telling you, that's why it's so shiny right now. There's wildfires and stuff going on in Newfoundland and Labrador as we speak, so that's a little scary. But I'm hoping, setting up good vibes to everybody affected. It's pretty wild out there right now.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure that the warm temperatures, the dry humidity, it's just not helping in those wildfires.
No, we've had no rain, and it's weird for us because normally we have January is what we call it. And this year, I think it's the first time that I can remember we had an actual spring, and the rain has been minimal.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
causing problems now.
So Carolina, we've talked before. We've featured your music on East Coast Hour, and now we're going to talk about a release that you had previously put out in a studio version, but
Yep.
you had an opportunity to kind of do a live performance with Newfoundland's very own Alan Doyle. How did that come to be?
Back in, I'm going to say it was 2021. It was right in the thick of the pandemic when we were just able to travel within the bubble. Do you remember that?
Yes, yes, we all do.
So APTN reached out to me and they wanted me to go up and perform for the summer solstice show in Halifax. And one of the stipulations was to get to work with Alan Doyle, and we did two songs together, one of mine and one of his. Um, so I went up there and it was deadly. It was a really, obviously it was a great experience. The band is bananas. They're so good. They're so talented, and they're so humble. They're just sweet. So that was one of the best experiences I'd had outside of my own band and the regular musicians that I play with. Um, so fast forward to now, 2025. I just went through, I guess the scariest thing I could have gone through in my life. I had what's called necrotizing fasciitis, also known as flesh-eating disease, and it affected the back of my left leg, and it really took me off my feet for a good few months, and still recovering. I'm not 100% yet, but getting there, and I will. But what I found is I was listening to a bunch of music that in the nighttime was the scariest time for me. And I was listening to music that would bring up like good feelings, good vibes. And I came across this recording. I forgot that Alan had sent it to me. So his sound team just recorded it live off the floor while we were there. Corey Tedford mixed it and mastered it and sent it over to me. And I was like, this is too good not to share. I got to get that out there. So that's how it all came to light. So here we
Nice,
are. Comes
nice.
out tomorrow. Yeah.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we're going to share it with the listeners. So I appreciate you kind of letting us have the chance to talk and share this release.
Well,
So
I
let's
appreciate it.
talk about what you're up to this summer. You kind of
Yeah.
laying low, kind of still recovering, or doing a
Yeah.
little bit of work.
So I am still laying low to some degree. I did have a summer tour planned. I was supposed to go to Nova Scotia again and the Southern Labrador. And unfortunately, because of medical advice from my team, I had to kind of dial back on that a little bit. It was too much too soon, I think. The long travel in the car, like to Southern Labrador, it's about a 10 or 11 hour trail from where I am in St. John's. Um, and flying isn't really a great idea now with, inflammation and swelling and all those weird things. So I'm taking it easy. I am doing some shows. There are a few here and there that I'm doing, but yeah, it's definitely a different summer than I've ever had.
Mhm.
But it's okay because again, I almost wasn't here, so I can take that as a gift, and I'm happy to be here. I'm also working on a new record. I haven't spoken to anybody about this yet. I have a new record in the works. I am in the recording process now with Corey Tedford. Corey Tedford he was like my bucket list producer. And it all kind of came to fruition when I came up with this song. And while I was recovering, like I said, I'd listen to all these songs that would kind of get me through the night times were the worst. So these songs that would get me through the night, or these albums that would get me through the night. And he was one of those people. So I reached out to him and I just said, listen, I would die to work with you, my son. Like, could we please at some point in our lives work together? And he was all gung ho right away. And now we're like best buddies, and the record's gonna be pretty great. And I'm paying kind of homage to my roots, which I think you would understand more than anyone. Now it's like gospel, country, singer-songwriter sort of thing. So it's gonna be really different for Carolina East, but I'm so excited to share it with you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Now, I got the chance to see you in St. John's at the ECMAs. You did the
Mhm.
show in the Majestic Theater, just absolutely a amazing venue, but you
Oh,
sounded awesome.
well,
Sounded
thank
awesome.
you for that. I was struggling a lot vocally at that time. I was kind of fresh off of or I was just back into, that was the first show I'd played in 6 months. And because I had been on a ventilator for I think 5 days, I was having some vocal issues that were really scaring me. I wasn't able to project. There was weird stuff going on internally. And that show kind of let me dust off the cobwebs and kind of proved myself that, okay, I can still sing, I can still do this. So I'm glad you were there. I really
Yeah,
am.
it was great. And I mean, you talked a little bit about your illness and what was going on with you medically.
Yep.
But it's nice to hear though, kind of maybe a bit of your writing process, hear the stories behind the songs. It was just a great venue and a great opportunity to hear you speak about some of those things. And one of the topics and the people you brought up was your dear friend Chris Ryan,
I know.
who's no longer with us, but was a big inspiration in your life.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, there's not one single day that goes by that I don't think of that man. Um, I know wholeheartedly, and you would know this too, that if he had been alive when I took sick, he wouldn't have left my side. There'd be no way. So it's been really difficult, without him. And sometimes I do feel guilty um, doing gigs without him, if that makes sense. And I know logically you have to move on, but we're not dealing with logic when feelings are involved. And it's been hard, but I make sure that I speak of him often and at every single show. Um, he's there, like in one way or another. Matter of fact, the new record is going to have a song on there that I'm going to dedicate to Chris. So that's going to be pretty special.
Nice. Looking forward to it. And so we're going to feature your song now, Until You Are Sorry. And again, it came out a few years ago, but it's now a more recent release that's coming out. Talk to us about the song itself.
So this song was one of the first ones I had written when Carolina East came to fruition. It was originally on my very first record and my very first album release back in 2019. And yeah, I mean, this song was special. It was really the moment that I learned that I could actually, if this makes sense. I mean, I've been singing in bars for years, but I kind of felt at that moment with feet as a singer-songwriter. So it was really special. Chris and I ended up doing an acoustic version of this, which can be found on YouTube, and that was pretty impactful. That was recorded live off the floor in Winnipeg. It's just been a really important part of my career as a musician, this song in particular. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this version. And I have to say there's no auto tune on it. It's perfectly imperfect. There's things there that, you know, kind of make me go, oh, you get that little cringe, but that's just because I'm the artist. Hopefully when you listen to it, you'll hear the rawness and the love behind that song.
Nice. So happy to hear this and to be able to
Thank
share
you.
it with everyone. Carolina, thank you so much for joining us and being here with us in this heat wave.
Oh, it's all
Hopefully
good,
things
Chuck.
cool
Thank
off
you.
for you soon.
No, don't say that. We get 9 months 9 months of winter.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to feature your song right now on East Coast Hour. Here
Chuck, I
is
appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
You're Welcome. On East Coast Hour, here is the latest release from Carolina East. It's Until You Are Sorry on East Coast Hour with Chuck.
Another bouquet of flowers showing up at my door. Cards and gifts in showers, but somehow I need more. 'Cause these things, they can't erase all the things that you said. Grand gestures can't fix this, oh, not like you can. You seem to forget you never did apologize, beg me for forgiveness, for lie after lie. Maybe we can move on, pick up where we left off, baby, not until you are sorry. Whisper nothings, however sweet, really play with my head. You don't know how much it would mean if you just show up instead. 'Cause these things, they can't erase all the things that you said. Grand gestures can't fix this, oh, not like you can. You seem to forget you never did apologize, beg me for forgiveness, for lie after lie. Maybe we can move on, pick up where we left off, baby, not until you are sorry. Say you wish you could take it back. If you could, you would make it better. Show me that deep down you feel bad. Make your actions louder than your love letters. You seem to forget you never did apologize, beg me for forgiveness, for lie after lie. Maybe we can move on, pick up where we left off, baby, not until you are sorry. You seem to forget you never did apologize. Oh, night after, maybe we can move on. Oh, not until you sorry. You are sorry.
Hi, I'm Jacob Lewis, and East Coast Hour provides artists like myself the opportunity to share their music across the world. This is an East Coast Hour with Chuck.
Every time I look into your eyes, I get a feeling I just can't disguise. Oh no, never thought charm and smile at me some more. Watch my caution run right out the door, and then here I fall again. La-da-dee-la-la-la-dee-da. Here I fall again. La-da-dee-la-la-la-la-la. So much more than friends. Who knows how this will end? La-da-dee-la-la-la-dee-da. What is it about you that makes me feel this way? I wish I knew, I wish I knew. Here in the warmth of your embrace, I'm safe inside, but I still want to run and hide. And here I fall again. La-da-dee-la-la-la-la-la. So much more than friends. Oh, please don't let this magic end. 'Cause here I fall again. La-dee-da-da-da, la-da-dee-da-da-da.
That was Elizabeth Shepherd, and Here I Fall Again on East Coast Hour. I'm Chuck Boudreau. Elizabeth Shepherd is a Newfoundland Mi'kmaq pop artist. We played before on a recent episode of East Coast Hour. I look forward to more videos from her. It's time for this week's Viewers Pick of the Week. All week long, you've been voting for your choice of these three artists. You cast your votes, and it's now time to announce who your choice is for this week's Viewers Pick of the Week. Here is your choice. It's Minnie Grimace with Time Machine on East Coast Hour with Chuck.
What we're gonna do here is go back, way back, back into time. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs, but you'll do more right. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs, but you'll do more right. I was just a little punk with a discman. Try to tell me what to do, I wouldn't listen. Every other day I was in my room, grounded. Dad would sneak me out and mom would never find us. In the woods smoking, thought that I was cool. I was just a bad boy, breaking all the rules. Didn't have no bills and I didn't have a clue. A kid with a dream and that's all that I knew. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs, but you'll do more right. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs, but you'll do more right. Just a kid who didn't know better, coming home from school with weird smells on my sweater. Hung around with the rebels out pulling all-nighters. Only light that we had was a light from a lighter. The future gets brighter with time. You don't see it now, it's about that grind. Release all the hate that you got in your mind. You wouldn't be yourself without those times. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs, but you'll do more right. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs, but you'll do more right. Close my eyes and take me back when when life was about a dream. I miss those days and I miss my dad. He'd be proud of me. I'ma build myself a time machine to go back when I was free. But right now I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs but you'll do more right. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs but you'll do more right. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs but you'll do more right. I'ma build myself a time machine and take a trip back to when I was 13. Tell myself everything is alright. You did a few wrongs but you'll do more right. Here's a message for the kids. Don't grow up too quick. You don't know what you got until it's gone. Stay exactly where you are. It's cool to be a kid.
That was Minnie Grimace with Time Machine on East Coast Hour. I'm Chuck Boudreau, your choice for this week's Viewers Pick of the Week. You can vote for next week's video from the list of these 3 talented artists. So go to the description section below or visit me over on my personal or East Coast Hour Facebook pages, and you can find the link to vote for next week's Viewers Pick of the Week. We have some amazing musicians who appear on this show, so I've decided to add a new segment each month. Beginning the first episode in August, I'll bring you the East Coast Hour Top 10. Voting is now open until July 31st. Either select from the list that I've provided to you as a random selection of videos for the inaugural Top 10, or you can suggest your own East Coast music video for the Top 10. There's already an overwhelming number of votes, but let's keep it up for the next couple of weeks. Coming up after this next video, I'll have your upcoming events brought to you by Burdor Lakes Inn. But first, here's Nova Scotia-based band Alex Coley with Silent in My Car on East Coast Hour with Chuck.
I don't wanna talk, I just wanna be with you, silent in my car, with no idea what we will do, 'cause it was getting late, and I had too much to drink, and I knew fate was too strong a word, but you didn't give me time to think. Told me to leave it there, but I just kept on coming, and you told me you'd leave me there, and I said you'd be running, and I hope to see you later, and I hope that you'll be my friend. And it'd be easy to hate her, but it'd be much more painful in the end. I don't wanna talk, I just wanna be with you. silent in my car, with no idea what we will do. And I hope to see you later, and I hope that you'll be my friend, and it'd be easier to hate her, but it'd be much more painful in the end, in the end, in the end. Ooh.
That was Alex Coley and Silent in My Car on East Coast Hour. I'm Chuck Boudreau. It came from their debut album, The Ark. They were nominated for 2 Music Nova Scotia Awards, Music Video of the Year and New Artist Recording of the Year. You can find all the information you need to know about the group at alexcoleymusic.ca. It's time for some upcoming events brought to you by the Bredor Lakes Inn in St. Peters. Speaking of the Bredor Lakes Inn, Rebel Road Band is going to be taking the stage at the Inn on August the 2nd at 7 p.m. It will be a night of dancing, laughs, and fun with friends. It's a $10 admission. You can call the Inn to reserve your seats at 902-535-2200. The Carlton in Halifax has a fabulous lineup for you. Coming up on July 20th to the 21st, Mary Gauthier is going to be there with special guest Jamie Harris. July 22nd and 23rd, David Francie will be hitting the stage at the Carlton. And the 24th, Tara McLean with special guest Anne Graves. The Right Swipes on July 26th. That's just some of the events coming up at the Carlton. You can visit their website, thecarlton.ca, to get more information and to get your tickets. The Celtic Colours International Festival has announced their grand opening and their complete lineup of all the events that are taking place throughout the festival time in October. The grand opening is happening in Port Hawkesbury at the Civic Centre on October the 10th. It's a Friday night, 7:30 p.m. show. Artists like the Barra McNeils, Fluke, David Francie, and MacArthur Dancers, they're all going to be lined up for the grand opening. So something for you to check out. Visit celtic-colors.ca to get a complete listing of all of the different concerts and community events that are going on. Hopefully you get a chance to take part. Well, the Red Farm Field Trip is happening August 3rd in Sydney River, Nova Scotia. Joining me to talk now about it is Grammy and Juno Award winner from Big Pond, Nova Scotia. It's Gordie Sampson. On this week's show, featuring an artist that's not unknown to the East Coast music scene, he's here to talk about a special project that's coming up in Sydney area. It's called the Red Farm Field Trip. And joining me on the show this week, Gordie Sampson, welcome to the show.
Hi, Chuck. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for doing it. It looks like you're sitting in a nice, relaxing background here.
Not too bad. No complaints other than, we try not to complain in Cape Breton when it gets too hot, but I was close yesterday.
I know. And today is not looking much better.
Yeah. So, I had some outdoors work to do, and as usual, my timing is bad. So I was outdoors working for most of the heat. But anyway, no complaints. I kind of like it.
I feel your pain. Gordie, listen, thank you so much for doing this. And, as I said off the top, I mean, you're not unknown to the East Coast music scene and internationally well known. Grammy Award winner, Junos, multiple award nominations and awards themselves. But you're here to talk about a very special project, and that's the Red Farm Field Trip, which is taking place August 3rd in Sydney River. This is a show that I believe that you've been involved with now for, is it 4 years? This is the 4th year?
Yeah, they've been in slightly different iterations, but yes. This is the new uh, sort of a rebranding, if you will, a new location. And this one really feels like, I mean, we haven't done it yet, so it's a little early to say, but it already feels like home, I guess you'd say. Uh, uh, the organizers, particularly Sarah, um, it, event uh, organization and planning, um, it takes a few years. Like it's one day a year, and the chances of you nailing it, uh, not so much nailing it, but like there are all kinds of forces beyond your control. It takes a couple of years to get used to how that all works,
Right.
and sometimes it's location, how close you are to a major center, the talent itself, what night of the week you do it on. These are all things you learn as you go along, and I feel like it's starting to get well oiled now.
Nice. Yeah, because you started back, I think it was Cape Smoky was maybe the first one.
Yep.
But now the Red Farm field trip. Tell us about the venue itself.
Venue would be known to, if you were if you were from the Sydney area or outside the Sydney area, you would know it as Tobin's Farm. Um, and it's just it's sort of recognizable because that area was built up sort of as a suburb ish, uh, but there's one large property that maintained its farm stature throughout the years, and that was known as Tobin's Farm. It's been sold, has a new owner, and they are very keen to do events there, and so this will be, I think, their first major outdoor event.
Nice, nice. And I think from what I understand as well, they have a few more events scheduled for after this. But you have
Yes,
a
I believe
great
so.
lineup. Sarah's been promoting. I've talked to her about the upcoming event. Talk to us about the lineup that you have coming up on August 3rd for this evening of fabulous talent.
Yeah, so this this show has always had a songwriter circle component, which works great for me because most of the gigs I do are songwriter circles when I'm in the U.S. and uh, it's still that the idea of a songwriter circle is still being curated here. Certainly, Bruce Guthrow did a lot for that, over the years, and anybody that's uh, a full time songwriter like me, we're definitely reaping uh, what Bruce sowed for us. And but so the show always has a circle. As a matter of fact, the first year was just a circle uh, in the middle of it. So there's usually an opening act, a circle which has four different artists. This year it will be myself, Dylan Guthrow, Jody Guthrow, and Bahamas, and then a headlining act afterwards, which is Sloan. Which very excited. I think it'll be very nostalgic and very entertaining. And also this year, it'll have a little bit more of an old school um, Woodstock style component, where I'm pretty sure you can stay there for the night if you set it up like that. Uh, so it's got like a throwback 60s, 70s throwback thing to it that I think is really cool that people will enjoy.
Yeah, I talking to Sarah, I know there's definitely plans to develop that kind of camping aspect in
Yeah.
future years to come as well. But I think there may be opportunities. You're right. It's an event that an opportunity, I guess, for people to come out and see some of the talent that they wouldn't normally get to see, and which I think is an expectation or a purpose behind a lot of the festivals. It's not just to showcase local everyday talent, which is great to be able to do because I think it's much needed. but it's an opportunity when they bring in some newer artists as well for people to be able to share. So I think that's an opportunity that people are should look forward to and take part in the Red Farm Field Trip. Interesting name for the event, or is it the event or the venue?
The venue is the Red Farm. That's what they kind of rebranded for. It's sort of centered around the old big barn that was part of Tobin's farm. It's just a really, really cool big barn that they've kept over the years. It kept it up really well. And as a matter of fact, I used to store a few years ago. I used to leave a car here for the summer because we always come home in the summer. We had an old Honda, and we still have it actually. and that's where you would store your, because they used to rent the space in the barn so you could store your car over the winter. So that's all been redone. My mother actually plays gigs in there. Like they have like jazz nights in there. And then there are all kinds of gigs that I have not been to. I see them online from when I'm down south.
Right.
But it's a wonderful, very unique, maybe even quirky setup that people seem to love. That's great. The barn I'm talking about specifically, which is where I think the after party will happen for this show.
Okay, so there's also an after party that's taking place.
There is some kind of an after party. I don't know many details about it other than my mom, Flo, will be playing the after party, and Mikey from Slow Coaster will be playing with her. So they're kind of calling it Flow Coaster.
Nice.
So an interesting combination indeed.
So Gordy, if anybody was looking to get tickets to attend the field trip at the Red Barn, how would they go about doing it?
I think the Facebook page will lead you to all of that temptation.
Yeah, we'll post up a link here of how people get tickets as well. So
yeah.
So Gordy, anything that you're up to at the moment that you would like to kind of share?
I'm still doing lots of writing. I'm just doing not as much. There's a number of reasons for that. I'm making a couple of records this year. One is a guitar record, and one is a songwriter's record. So I'll be doing that between August and December. And so, I will probably not write as many songs for Nashville artists as I usually do. Mm-hmm. And I'm sort of finding my pace there. I've been hitting it pretty hard for the last 20 years. Yeah. And it's the kind of lifestyle when you're writing for other artists down there. I mean, if you don't watch yourself, you can just do that constantly and you don't have much time for much else.
And I'm glad to hear, though, that you're taking some time to put out a couple of albums yourself of your own work. So really looking forward to that after December. So we're probably looking more into the spring or even the summer for releases, I'm guessing. So, thank you so much, Gordy, for sharing that, and something for people to look forward to as well for your fan base.
Yes. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it.
We've been talking to Gordy Sampson, who is one of the artists being featured at the Red Farm Field Trip, which is happening August 3rd in Sydney River. You can get your tickets to head out to the event. Lots of great artists that are lined up. And Gordy, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Chuck.
Time to move along now to a music video from Sloan, one of the performers of the Red Farm Field Trip. It is Underwhelmed on East Coast Hour with Chuck.
She was underwhelmed, if that's a word. I know it's not, 'cause I looked it up. That's one of the skills that I learned in my school. I was overwhelmed, and I'm sure of that one, 'cause I learned it back in grade school when I was young. She said you was funny, I said just ate my young. She's obviously a person with the cause. I told her that I don't smoke or drink. She told me to loosen up on her way to the LC. She skips her classes and gets good grades. I go to my courses, rain or shine. She's passing her classes while I attend mine. Well, I attend mine. Well, I attend mine. Well, I attend mine. Well, I attend. Wrote out a story about her life. I think it included something about me. I'm not sure of that, but I'm sure of one thing. Her spelling's atrocious. She told me to read between the lines, to tell her exactly what I got out of it. I told her affection head to west, especially when you're dealing with me. I usually notice all the little things. Once I was proud of it, she says it's annoying. She cursed me up and down and rolled her eyes, her beautiful eyes. She says I'm caught up in triviality. All I really wanna know is what she thinks of me. I think my love for her makes me miss the point. I 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 miss the point. They miss that.
That was Sloan with Underwhelmed on East Coast Hour. I'm Chuck Woodrow Sloan, one of the Red Farm Field Trip performers, again coming up on August the 3rd. Well, that's a wrap for episode number 17. Cast your votes for your viewer's pick of the week in the description section below or over on my Facebook pages. Chime in on July's East Coast Hour Top 10 by voting using the link below as well in the description section and again on my Facebook site. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share the link for this episode with your friends and family. If you have suggestions, please email me, eastcoasthour@gmail.com. Share your favorite East Coast tune in the comment section below and check out some other East Coast Hour episodes. Be good and kind and nice to each other and do something extra special for someone this week. Let's continue on with new music from Willie, Peter, and Sarah. Maybe this is your new summer vibe. Here's the Boo Jums with Burnin' Up on East Coast Hour with Chuck.